matchup in store, as it'll be the Miami Dolphins taking on the Indianapolis Colts. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the postseason on EA Sports. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, that's really all I need to say to get you fired up. It's the postseason on EA Sports.
And no one's more fired up than the guys who are going to be playing in this game. This is what they fought for all year long. Go back to the OTAs, the mini camps, training camp, throughout the season to get to the playoffs. The intensity level will be off the charts.
The third of 3 games to finish up this Sunday. We might save the best for last. And off we go here in the wild card round. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Robinson throwing to start the drive. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. Looking to throw. Robinson steps away to his left. Oh, some strong running. And they get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 36. Here's the option. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. His throw incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down. The Colts send out their punter. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And their quarterback, well, everyone knows he's got height, standing at 6'6".
And he comes off of a really good regular season with over 4,000 yards passing, and now in the playoffs, people always ask the question, do you continue to play the way you played in the regular season? Do you turn it loose, or do you tone it down a little bit? I think you've got to be smart, but make sure you show the defense something they haven't seen before.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. 2nd and 9 now. He'll fire one deep for Westbrook. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll be taken down, but first he gets deep into Indianapolis territory. It's a big play there for Miami. 66 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. That one tipped, and it's incomplete. But good hands there defensively. That's 2nd down. Up the middle they go. McGill. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be brought down well short of the first at about the 9-yard line. And this one is right through. And the Dolphins will jump out to a 3-0 lead. A lot of energy in this building tonight, but the opening drive produces 3, maybe quiets them just a bit, at least momentarily.
Just a little, right? That's all you're asking for, right? Things just getting started. You know they haven't taken the momentum totally here, but at the same time, they like what they've done here in the early going.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. They come in as the 3 seed in this, very likely the last home game of the season for them, even if they win this ball game. But while they would have loved that top spot and the bye that goes with it, they're still in a pretty good position.
Well, they certainly are. Let's face it. Every team knows if they want to get to the Super Bowl, they're going to have to earn it. And even if you get the number 1 seed, you know you have to win 2 games against teams. They're going to be riding high after big playoff wins coming at you.
That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On 3rd down, McKee. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. The Colts send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is taken at the 15. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And it'll be Dolphin football. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3. And it's 2nd down. And they're going to speed things up here. Here's a 2nd and 7. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. It's Dolphins football here as we begin the 2nd quarter, as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is caught at the 20. And he'll be taken down, but first he gets deep into Indianapolis territory. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. Now a handoff up the middle. McGill. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. Ball at the 14 for 2nd and 5. They'll keep it on the ground. McGill. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
Good running right there. And this is a man who's a 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, so you know he's going to get his chances. And he picks up nice yardage on that one.
Back to throw. Burks toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. 2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. They'll try to run this one in. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
And now a stoppage. It looks like we have a Colt who was shaken up on that last play.
He'll try again. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run.
And the Dolphins are able to widen their advantage.
Extra point splits the uprights. And the lead grows to 10-0. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field.
Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10.
Complete here. It's high. And they work this well upfield across the 45. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Up the middle they go. McKee, and nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. From the 48-yard line, here's second down and 8. Off play action. Robinson throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Multiple players getting home there, and it's a loss of 2 on the sack. The Colts send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Miami's offense set and ready to go. Well, certainly they'd rather have the scenario they had last time. Now, Charles, remember they had the short field. They took it in the end zone. Now this is going to have to be a longer, more sustained drive if they want to get points.
Yeah, a little bit more of a quick strike opportunity last time by where they were on the field, and you're exactly right about that. But now, backed up a little bit. What's that old expression we love to use? Time to matriculate the ball down the field and try and do it again.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Tucker. His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down. 2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a handoff up the middle. McGill. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 40 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. Solid running there. And, CD, we hear so much about what it takes to win in the playoffs. Most people like to include having a strong running game in their assessment. And with this man in the backfield, this group has a strong running game without a doubt.
Oh, I absolutely agree with you there because in terms of yardage, he's a top 5 running back in the league. And in terms of impact on a game, not many better than him. And when they're flowing and he's carrying the ball consistent.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. 38 yards. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes our score 17-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Colts set to take over here offensively. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive. And they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. Operating from the gun. Robinson. Throw left side complete. That's Farmer. 1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Back to throw again. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Robinson. They'll roll him out right.
Now the Colts will use their third and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line.
A loss of 9 on the play. Brings up 3rd down.
So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports.
Well, look around the NFL. We'll have to wait for postgame because we are moving right through halftime and on to the third quarter.
And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter.
And they've been the better of the two teams through 2 quarters of play, much to the chagrin of this home crowd.
They've got his man complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Up the middle they go. McGill. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
It's a loss of 2. Brings up 2nd and 12 at the Colts 42-yard line.
They'll keep it on the ground. McGill, not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. The Dolphins will send out the punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback.
Indianapolis offense ready to go again. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line. 2nd and a yard.
Off the option, he'll try and run with it.
And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
From the gun on 3rd down, Robinson.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Now a handoff up the middle. McKee, and they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Operating from the gun, Robinson. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Robinson.
Oh, my God.
Open receiver complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 3rd and 19, no problem, as they're able to convert. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Robinson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule.
And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
They'll keep it on the ground. McKee. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
One quarter remains for the right to survive round 1. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Colts, so they've got the football, but they've got work to do, trailing here as we begin the 4th quarter. Second and 11. Looking middle, and that's complete.
And the Colts are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Taking it in from 2 yards out.
And the Colts are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. This one not in the win column just yet, but on the road is the 6th seed. They are close to pulling off the upset.
Yeah, I don't want to jinx them. I'm like you. It's not over yet, but I'm going to go ahead and project here. Win this one. Think about the momentum now that you carry, right? You carry that forward. And look, home field's a big deal in the playoffs, but the really good teams, and we've seen it plenty of times in NFL history, they can go on the road and win. And a win here will allow them to do exactly that.
Of course, the road doesn't get much easier as you have to face the top seed next week, but they'll deal with that then.
Hey, they'll take this win and take on the top seed anywhere because they're still in the playoffs and still alive for a chance at the Super Bowl.
And he fires one incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him. Find him. Find him.
And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too. Back to throw. Burks. And he completes it to Westbrook. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he is going to have the Dolphins first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1.
Looking to throw. Burks. And he's got it. Touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the night.
And the Dolphins are an extra point away from making this a 3-score game.
Extra point splits the uprights. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over.
They are most likely staring at a cold end to their season here in this wild card round. Nothing has gone right so far, and they are, to be frank, in desperation mode now as they begin with a 1st and 10.
Throwing to start the drive. Robinson firing quickly here, and that's complete.
Here now, 2nd and 4.
Off the play fake. Robinson Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete.
Still going.
Touchdown, Indianapolis. A big play there. 71 yards.
And the Colts have got it back to a 2-score game here in the fourth.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead down to 10, 24-14. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Dolphins are going to recover. The risk-reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep. Those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
From the 31, here's a 2nd down and 4.
Back to throw. Burks.
Here's Tucker, complete on the right side.
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. Saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game.
And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down.
That one out wide and intercepted. And the Dolphins will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line.
Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line.
73 yards rushing for him now to this point. Extra bulk up front for 2nd and inches. 3 tight ends.
They'll keep it on the ground. McGill, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And quickly they get to the line. They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. Hard throw, incomplete.
See, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe he didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Here we go on 4th down. And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Wide open receiver complete. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Looking to throw. Robinson. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A 5-yard touchdown.
And the Colts get a bit closer.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is trimmed down to 10. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And the Dolphins are indeed going to get this, and that should all but do it. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. Now it looks like he'll throw here.
Open man is Tucker.
Past the 20.
Down the sideline he goes.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. 46 yards. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. They said beginning of the season they wanted to get past the wild card round. Well, they just got past the wild card round.
How about that, being able to put the big check marks up in the locker room, right? Get to the wild card game. Check. Got that done. Win a wild card game. Big check. Now you've got to go ahead and set your sights higher. There is a bigger prize out there, and they still have an opportunity.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. So long, everybody.